This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up, everybody? Ricky Widmer here, along with fellow man-child Johnny Karlic. And we are back for the Rick and Johnny podcast right here on Most Valuable Podcast, your one-stop shop for, nerdy news,
We're
entertainment. We are. We're a podcasting store.
Oh, okay.
We sell through advertisements the nerdy news, the entertainment news, the movie news. Yeah, we're not actually
way different
selling
than what
it.
I thought.
We're just, because we have ads on our content, that's the only way we make money. They're not paying for this.
Play now, $9.85.
Yeah, it's not that of a thing, but it's just, it's a free mobile game, but you got some ads on it. That's kind of how we're working here. But welcome into the Rick and Johnny podcast. It's been a great week. Like today, I'll be honest, I'm a little under the weather. Kind of recording this podcast a little under the weather, but we had to come in and do it for you a little early because you're going to be at C2E2 this week.
Yes, I am.
You are. Are you excited for... do you have any plans of what you exactly want to hit at C2E2?
Well, obviously, since you and I went once, we didn't explore a damn thing because...
that was... You had one goal in mind, and that was get to Stan Lee for his autograph.
Yes, and that took how many hours? 4?
It took a lot of hours.
4 hours in line.
Where I was like, you know what? I just want to leave.
I had... Okay, so let's put the cost of Stan Lee's autograph is
priceless.
$150. Well, yeah, that's
priceless.
But $150 altogether,
and then the time investment
plus 4 hours of standing in line, at least 4 hours.
Well, it wasn't a consistent he's there and then signing. He was there signing, then left to do a panel, and then had to come back.
Yes, so that
we're not told about that one though. We weren't told. About that
we were not given a heads up about that until
until it happened.
Yeah, until we were in the first 2 rows of line.
I mean, it's Stan Lee.
Oh no, I have his autograph, and that's never come.
He can do whatever he wants.
So my bedroom is up these flight of stairs. And as you look up the stairs, I took my mom's artwork down that she bought from some store.
Oh, wow.
And I hung it up right there. And
that just shows your priorities. Stan Lee greater than mom? Is that what you're saying?
Stan Lee's greater than stupid artwork from a store.
Okay.
It's not like mom drew it.
We're not going on the level that Stan Lee's greater than mom, because I don't know if I could do that.
No. It's not like my mom drew it or anything. She bought it from the store. It was decorative art she bought. I took it down. Stan Lee's autograph goes up. And as soon as you look up those stairs, you can see that poster with his autograph.
Well, and
I need to get a light above it, though.
Well, one thing I hope you do this weekend for us on your own Twitter, post the hell out of what you're doing, because we will MVP the pod, like the Twitter at Most Valuable Pod. We'll be retweeting. I want to see what's going on when you're
if I don't do it right then and there, you guys are going to get flooded on Sunday.
Oh, we will. I want to be flooded with pictures and stuff of what's going on at C2E2. But what a week we've had also. We're not talking about this, but I have to mention it. Spider-Man for PlayStation 4. Yes. That gets a release date. I am very happy about that. I'm thinking about buying the collector's edition for maybe $150. We'll see how that works out. But
may as well.
That is how I am excited I am
Ricky,
for that.
It's Spider-Man. Just do it.
Today, we also got the remaking Spyro. I've heard about this for months. For months, I've heard that they're going to remake Spyro. When is it going to come? When is it going to come? We finally got it September 18th. We will have Spyro in our hands to be able to play 1 through 3 yet again.
Nice.
And then more importantly, what we're getting to, our news. John Krasinski, I hope I said that right.
Yes.
Basically, what is it, Jim from The Office?
Jim from The Office, yeah.
Jim from The Office wants to play Reed Richards. So we're going to talk about that. Fantastic Four. Will we ever get that movie? I don't ever know. Then we're going to dive into the Venom movie, talk a little about Carnage and his role, and then later talk about Batman, the movie. What should the story be? If we have enough time, there will be a secret, maybe 4th topic, if we have enough time to hit it in tonight's recording session. But before we get into it, a little bit of housekeeping. I will keep it plain and simple. Go check out patreon.com/Most Valuable Podcast to support us. Go on to iTunes and Apple Podcasts. Please give us a 5-star rating. The Rick and Johnny Podcast, both Johnny and I would appreciate it. Go to mostvaluablepodcast.com to get everything that we do each and every day. And then number 3, the store. You buying the MVP t-shirt, you want to get one of those, that link is down below in the description as well. Want to get through that housekeeping a little quick because this has been a longer intro for our podcast because of C2E2 and everything going on.
I do have one more bit of news that we did miss.
Go ahead.
Mountain Dew Baja Blast is coming back to stores in April 23rd. Really? Yeah.
When did you find that out?
Just today online.
I mean, you are a Baja Blast. I was Code Red guy.
Yeah.
Like, I was Code Red, then the original, then I want to. Ooh, what would be my third? It would be a fight for third. Let's be honest. Between LimeWire and Pitch Black, but I didn't really like Pitch Black.
Have you ever tried all the flavors though? Have you tried all of them?
I don't like Baja Blast. Isn't for me.
Oh, you don't like it?
I believe when they had the 3, it was Whiteout, Voltage, and what was the third one?
Voltage was not part of that the trial one where you there were 3 of them we got to choose from.
One was
Whiteout, Typhoon was pink. That was disgusting.
Yeah, I
don't remember the last one.
I thought Voltage was a part of that.
No, Voltage came out before those did.
Okay,
because that was almost like I think that was actually like a vote for it thing.
I would say my top 3, and maybe this is nostalgia kicking in for Mountain Dew flavors. Code Red is among the best. Like, there's no touching Code Red at the top of the Mountain Dew mountaintop for me.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's nothing better than Mountain Dew Original. And then LimeWire.
Oh, you don't like Throwback?
LimeWire would be
real sugar.
With the real sugar? No, I want that artificial
it was gross.
sugar.
I'll be honest, it was gross.
And then for 3, I guess I'll throw in LimeWire because that's my childhood talking. Really, at that point, I really don't care. Right, it's just red and green are the 2 that I go to.
Red goes down the mountain because I have a red 40 allergy,
so you can't have it,
and horrible acid reflux from it.
It's okay.
So. Baja Blast gets up there.
Only the purest of humans can have Code Red.
Yeah, purest. Well, I mean, I'd have to be human for that to happen.
Well, true. You
guys don't consider me that.
But let's dive into our first story. We've had them waiting enough. It has been like 7 minutes, not even.
It's like a big drum roll.
It is. It's a big drum roll.
We are procrastinating on this topic, you guys.
They're sitting there going, "Get to the story. That's what I came here for." But Johnny Krasinski, A Quiet Place, coming out this weekend. We were going to go see both Blockers and Napa because of C2E2, because of
C2E2 takes precedence, so
and having to shift the podcast because of it. Yes. It's just not going to happen this weekend. He has that movie coming out, and in an interview for that, he basically said during an interview, I'll read the quote, "Oh, yeah, well, the question was, a lot of fans at Screen Rant love the superhero stuff. You and Emily have both flirted with this for a little bit. Any chance you guys could be playing Invisible Woman or Mr. Fantastic?" He said, "Oh, yeah, the Fantastic Four. I love that. I mean, listen, I'm still getting into the whole superhero thing. I didn't read comics as a kid. Not as many. I read some, but not as much. But I'm a huge superhero fan, so yeah, I'd love to do something like that. If there are any left, a lot of these have been taken, but the ones that are left, yeah, I would love to do something like that. And listen, I'd love to work with her again, so any chance that I got would be great." End quote. I'm going to ask you kind of a double-parted question. Number 1, would John Krasinski make a good Mr. Fantastic? And number 2, basically after reading that, is it it's not like I want to, it's like yeah, that'd be cool, I guess. Am I right? It's not like I want to play him.
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
it's not like hell yeah. It's like, no, that would be cool.
I guess that'd be cool. What about you? If Krasinski was going to be Mr. Fantastic, what would you think?
I'm not opposed. I know him mainly from The Office. I'm not sure a lot he's been in otherwise. I know you were looking it up earlier.
Something Borrowed.
What other ones, since you have it up already?
He's going to be in, let's see, Jack Ryan TV series, which is in pre-production. Did a voice for BoJack Horseman.
Really?
He's been in Arrested Development, The Office. A lot of it has been. He was in The Muppets, the movie from 2011.
Oh, yeah, he was in that.
It's Complicated, Leatherheads, License to Wed. So a lot of these TV series / comedies are almost like romantic type movies.
Yeah, romantic comedies.
But he does have his horror movie, A Quiet Place, coming out tonight as we're recording it, or tomorrow on Friday, depending on when you go and see it. But to me, I look at this and I go, my first thing that I saw was the fan art. When you look at the Screen Rant article, and I don't mind the look of it, like the beard, they grade the hair out on the side.
Which is great because it's supposed to be.
The thing I don't like, and I know you have kind of dissected the fan art to make me not basically have this worry.
You're welcome, Ricky.
But I looked at how buff he looked, and I went, maybe it's just me. I don't want my Reed Richards being a buff guy. I don't want him to be like, oh my God, I can lift so much. I'm so strong. I kind of want him to be that, like, not dorky scientist, but like that
thinner, lanky-ish.
Yeah. I want
lanky's a little bit off term. What I was thinking.
I want his brain, his intelligence to be what is the best thing about him, not Ricky, his brawn strength.
This is the muscle. This is the muscle.
But you know what I mean. I want the brain to be his biggest and best muscle.
Exactly. I agree.
And that was my little worry. But you told me not to have that worry.
Yeah. No. I mean, the fan art again. It does look great, but that is essentially taken from Captain America. You can tell by how the shoulders are, and the biggest giveaway to me was the brown strap.
Okay.
The 2 brown straps. That's from the shield holder. So, I mean, they altered the neck a bit, which great. It actually looks great. They took out a lot of the stuff on the chest, but they missed a little bit there, too. So you can see there where they did that and did the 4. It still looks great. I don't mind as long as it's no more buff than that.
Yeah,
like let's say he can be. I would say go physically fit, but don't make him buff. We don't want a Hemsworth. We don't want a Evans. We don't want. I don't even really want a Robert Downey Jr. I don't want him to be that buff.
Do you have an actor in mind that you would like
another
to play
actor?
Him?
Not at this right off the top of my head.
Because like for me, the Fantastic Four that we grew up with, like kind of teenage area, that. It was, I think his name was Golf Blum. I don't quote me on the guy who played Mr. Fantastic. I'd have to look it up. Actually, I have it right in front of me.
Yeah, you do.
Gruffud is the last name of who he said. I don't even remember him being in anything after that. But that's kind of what I want my Reed Richards to look like. I mean,
I agree. I don't want him to be too fit.
Even Fan 4 Stick, I'll be honest, Fan 4 Stick is terrible. But even that Reed Richards that they had, it wasn't like oh my God, why is he Reed Richards? It was like, okay, I could see him as Reed Richards. I can see how you would go that route. What do you think then? And here's the second question I have, because I'm looking at an article now that says, this is from MovieWeb, and it says Fantastic Four reboot would be perfect for Krasinski and Emily Blunt. Do you think that maybe because the whole thing about this is we're not getting Fantastic Four movie right away.
No.
Like everything with this has to wait until that Disney Fox deal goes through and then Disney puts everything together. Would you even think Emily Blunt would be a good choice to play the Invisible Woman?
Well, here's the thing. If we're gonna, the first thing I'm gonna say is because you and I didn't get to see a Quiet Place this weekend. I'm gonna check it out at some point. I don't 100% know their chemistry together. So it's hard to say if they will both be really good at like doing the back and forth with that. But Emily Blunt as Invisible Woman by herself, I would say maybe. I haven't seen a lot that she's been in, but I've seen like The Huntsman. I've seen Muppets. There's not a lot I've seen her in. So, I mean, she's a good actress. I think she could pull it off, but I would say there's probably other actresses that are out there that could.
Now, here's the thing.
More so Invisible Woman.
If you were, and this is going more towards, you're the Marvel guy.
Yes.
So, I'm putting you in charge of the Fantastic Four movie. Let's say Disney has the rights already.
Ooh.
I'm putting you in charge of the movie. What kind of fantastic family are you putting together? Are you putting together a fantastic family that is, okay, we're tying this into the MCU. They've already been here, but they're kind of doing their own thing. Or are you doing more of a, hey, let's tie it in to the cosmic universe in some way? Because the thing that I'll throw out there, and this, I don't want this to skew your thought process, but I'll throw it out there anyways.
Okay. In
Marvel Comics right now, they're bringing back the Fantastic Four, and I believe the whole storyline is that two of the members, I'll look it up exactly in a second while you give your answer, but two of the members are kind of lost in space, and two of the other ones, I think it's the Thing and Mr. Fantastic, have to go find them. and they're kind of starting that comic book. So if you were ahead of, we're developing a new Fantastic Four movie, what would be your target for what kind of actress or actor you would take for the Richards duo of Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic?
Well, what I would do, I would use this as a great stepping stone. Let's say we didn't get to start with the cosmic universe yet, because they talk about it, hasn't even really been introduced that much yet.
Yeah, but by the time this deal goes through, we're going to be done with that,
what
right?
I'm going to say, maybe. I don't know. It depends. I don't know. We haven't, like I said, we still have another Infinity Wars. We have Spider-Man's going to be based here. The only thing that's going to start anything cosmic besides Guardians of the Galaxy, some of Thor.
But isn't here's the only question I ask on that. Isn't Infinity War 2, I'm calling it, isn't Avengers 4 the end of the MCU as we know it, and then that's where the cosmic universe starts?
Not necessarily. Because again, Spider-Man, there's a Spider-Man or two, one or two Spider-Man movies supposed to come out after all that.
Yeah, the Spider-Man 2 takes place hours after Avengers.
Yeah, it's going to take place here. It's not going to take place out there somewhere.
But just because it takes place here doesn't mean it can't be in the cosmic universe.
Basically, let's put it this way.
We are a part of the cosmos.
Yes, we are. That's what I'm saying. Before I got so rudely interrupted, I'm kidding. What I'm saying is, so it's Spider-Man's going to take place here. Excuse me. Let's say we haven't quite yet introduced the cosmic universe, because are you really going to just throw all your fans right into it?
No. Exactly.
You're going to introduce it. Fantastic Four is a decent way of doing that. Honestly, let's say you could go along and kind of intro like movie them into it, where they're investigating stuff, they get hit by that radiation, yada yada yada. That becomes the Fantastic Four. If we wanted, let's say if we wanted to do an intro movie, if they really want to, they can just kind of throw them in, say, hey, they already have their powers. You already know this story, yada yada yada, and start bringing in hints of Galactus or hints of the Silver Surfer, et cetera, and make that the basis of the movie. Because I don't think you want to have them split off right away and have two of them you're giving no one like an intro story of anyone that hasn't for some reason figured it out how they got their powers, cosmic radiation. You don't want to throw people right into that and right into the middle of a story already going on. So it's either you want to give them the intro or you want to have them all together, but you want to have one of the two.
How we introduce it, I just want to make sure I'm hearing you right, because I was kind of trying to see also about the comic to make sure I had it correct. How we introduce the cosmic universe and kind of link it to Earth is the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
And have them coming back from their mission without us even doing the whole thing of, they went on a mission.
Yeah, honestly, you can have them
or you can play with timelines.
Yeah, that's true.
They went on a mission, like they've already been around, but the whole reason we haven't seen them is they got trapped in a multiverse.
Well,
they got trapped in an alternative timeline.
I wasn't saying that though. What I was saying more so was, honestly, you can even have them come back, them come back from their mission. That maybe they don't have the powers right then and there, and all of a sudden, like they start the mutating from the cosmic radiation. Maybe it's not an instantaneous thing. Maybe
so they're not. So what you're saying is origin story, but they haven't been the Fantastic Four while the MCU's been going on.
Maybe not, because let's say I'll put it this way: you didn't see Johnny Storm or Ben or I forgot this is Susan Storm show up on the Hydra radar. Just Reed Richards, and you know why that is? Because he's so fucking smart. Even without powers, he's a super genius.
And even in I think back to the Infinity War comics, they had in that an issue where when it was the person from the Fantastic Four that was there to meet with Namor and Iron Man and Doctor Strange, Reed Richards was there. He was the one. So, I could get that part of it to where you're like, oh, he was on the radar because he's so smart that he should be on the radar. Because Hydra can be like, how can we capture him and make him work for us?
Or just
brainwash him.
Or even, that thing was to put a gun to him to say either you work for us or we take you out.
True.
Because basically what that gun was is to take out all threats. So it's like, Reed Richards a threat to us. Because since maybe they already approached him. It's like, we can't get him to work for us. We're going to take him out. He's one of those people that could falter our plans. So my thought would be, since a lot of people, maybe not everyone, but a lot of people know their origin story. They go up into space, they get hit with cosmic radiation, they get mutated powers from that. So we can do it in a sense of they come back down from that. They're testing themselves on, oh, hey, why? What happened? Like, oh, Reed Richards is obviously going to go, okay, I need to see what the effects are going to happen of this cosmic radiation. He's testing everyone. Well, guess what? Slow mutation, like, doesn't happen right off the bat. They get back and then mutate. They start to mutate in a sense. It's that way you got kind of playing to the science that Marvel likes to put behind it and say, oh, well, it takes the time for the body to change its cellular structure. You can go with something like that. But anyways, that would bring it, like, give you somewhat of an intro and then kind of tie it in cosmically, because then you can have, well, what made that cosmic burst of radiation? Or again, like I said, you already have them with their powers, but you have, hey, there's a blip on the radar and ends up maybe near the end of the movie, it's Silver Surfer. Or something, some sort of intro-esque to, I forgot his name for a second.
You're talking about
Galactus.
Yes.
I'm like, what is his name?
Because he would be the Thanos baddie, but
yeah, he would be kind of the Thanos baddie.
So I found out for sure. There's a video that I can't watch, obviously, because we're recording. But the thing that they don't say exactly, but it seems like it says, well, Johnny Storm, Human Torch, and Ben Grimm, the Thing, remained on Earth. Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, and Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, took their kids and set off on an adventure across the multiverse. They've only sparingly been seen or referenced since. And then this is coming from Marvel's editor-in-chief, C.B. Cebulski. He says, Reed and Sue will be coming back to the Marvel Universe. The original team will be reforming. And it seems like the plot looks like the Richards are Storm and Richards are off. Thing and Johnny are here. All right, Ben, we got to go get them. We got to find them. What if the MCU kind of ties that into it to where it's like, hey, you haven't seen us because we've kind of been dealing with our own kind of like our own family, the Fantastic Family. We've been dealing with our own shit, so we haven't been able to kind of help you guys out with everything that's been going on with Thanos because we haven't really been here.
True.
Like, yeah, we got the powers a long time ago, but, and that could make sense for, oh, why Reed Richards is there, leader of the Fantastic Four, need to keep them on the radar, but also kind of tie in what's going on with the comics into the whole MCU thing and be like, hey, the whole reason we didn't help with Thanos, we were trying to figure our own shit out first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because Thanos is going to be a big thing of like, you'd start to question why they didn't come in and help. I mean, it's going to be hard because the other part that you and I know, that too.
Like, why aren't they here?
Yeah, I mean that's going to be the other question that pulls it into is like, well, why didn't the X-Men help? When then Marvel's going to have to figure out a way to either try and explain it or just say sweep that one under the rug and say, you know what, you all know we didn't have the rights to them. Yeah, you can't blame us for
miracles.
Miracles. They made miracles. Like, oh my god, you know I shook my head when they said that.
No.
I wasn't happy.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. Like, I don't know how really they would bring in. I don't know how they would bring in the X-Men and make it like, oh, nothing happened, because what they're doing with the comic here for the Fantastic Four can work. For if
you're
they
right,
want to bring
and you
them
know
into the MCU.
that could make it like that could be the one thing that could make it so it's like, okay, this is why they weren't helping with the Thanos thing. Basically, they weren't here.
Or let me think about that. Would the Dark Phoenix saga storyline be considered cosmic to you?
In some sense, if we go with like the old cartoon,
the whole reason we weren't helping you is Jean was gonna die. We were dealing with everything with that.
Jean was going to kill everything else.
Basically. Like, but the whole, like, space part of the Phoenix storyline.
Let's just, you and I go with, let's go along with the idea of the old cartoons.
Yeah.
There was that whole chunk of time. People from space, they were in space. Yeah. It's like, okay, yeah.
You could do that with the X-Men, and, that's why they weren't around either. So there are ways around it. Before we move on, though, into the Sony part, into Venom, any final thoughts you want about Krasinski and Mr. Fantastic, about any of the other roles for if you're putting together a Fantastic Four movie or a Fantastic Four movie in general. Any final thoughts?
I'm not opposed to Krasinski. As long as he's not, like we said earlier, I want a scientist. I want him to be less buff. I want him to look like a Reed Richards. Do you want a
younger Reed Richards or an older Reed Richards? Because there was a little, on the fan art, there was a little gray.
Older. I want that gray there.
You do want the gray?
I want like fatherly age, 40s.
Do you want them to have kids?
Not yet.
Do you want him and Sue to have kids?
I'd wait on that.
Okay.
Focus on the Fantastic Four and then bring that in. Maybe even as an Easter egg of I'm pregnant.
True, maybe. Maybe, but then it's like, oh, how is that going to happen?
Pregnancy reveal on
with everything ending everything. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Johnny, let's move on into our next topic, and we're kind of moving now into the Sony thing, like I said, and we're going Venom. We haven't talked about Venom in a while.
No, we haven't.
This is kind of, it says rumors on the articles that you read. However, these have been rumors since February. Basically, Woody Harrelson is being rumored to be playing Carnage in the Venom movie that we're going to see later this year. However, a new report from Bleeding Cool sourced an anonymous tipster. I know those anonymous tipsters, man. You can't get enough of them. Revealed that Harrelson will indeed play Carnage in Venom. However, then the Screen Rant report also says no other information was given aside from the aforementioned detail, but this corroborates persistent speculation that the solo Star Wars story actor will take on the role of the serial killer psychopath. There's also another article, this is a more editorial one, of Venom should have made Carnage its main villain. We know Carnage is not going to be the main villain. They're probably going to go with the villains of Venom, with the Lethal Protector storyline, having the other symbiotes be the main villain, be the scientist, kind of the Drake in Venom. The guy played by Riz Ahmed is going to be the main villain for this. But I want to ask you this question of, in Venom, that we will see later this year, what will Carnage's role be? What will it be in Venom?
Well, I mean...
Or what should it be? Maybe that's what we should ask, is what should Carnage's role be, and what do you think it will be?
I think this is more so going to be focused on Venom, how he becomes kind of Venom, and I think he's going to kind of push almost straight... maybe not even becoming Venom, but more so pushing straight into kind of like a... Agent Venom style Venom, where he's not like, that's actually a decent one.
Yeah.
Killing everyone and whatnot. I think this is going to be like halfway between, where it's like, I'm becoming Venom and I have to fight back and forth with this, like, in my head type thing to balance it.
Because Agent Venom was Flash Thompson, correct?
Yes.
So, yes, I mean, it wouldn't be, and I think what they've said, and I mean, this is going back way, I know we've talked about it, that Lethal Protector isn't the main storyline. I do believe they're also using elements of Agent Venom to be the story for this one. Yeah. It's kind of like the hybrid for it. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, the whole thing of, I know this is what we've talked about before, but like how you just said it, where I don't think we're going to get this, because we've already seen what the movie might be a little bit.
Yeah, we got a little taste now.
When I think Agent Venom, I think Flash Thompson in the full, like, Marine Venom suit, I call it.
Yeah, Marine-looking Venom suit, yeah.
With the gun, and it's like, this is what I'm using the power for. That was the one where, wasn't Flash Thompson amputated? Like, he had both of his legs amputated?
Maybe, yeah.
Symbiote was able to, how he got his legs back, because he could use the symbiote to make the
limbs,
bottom half of his limbs. The thing that I think with Carnage in this one, and it's not a huge theory, it's not a big, I'm going out on a limb here, I basically think that Carnage's role in this will be a background person that doesn't deal with Eddie Brock, maybe at all, very limited to at all, and he'll be set up as the sequel's villain. Yeah, like that is what we're setting up for.
That's kind of what I was going to get to as well. The minimum, I mean, maybe like a run-in.
Yeah.
Without like any symbiotes at all. So like just to make him some sort of an antagonist now, in a sense.
Here's a question that just popped into my head.
Yeah.
If you were going to make him the villain in a future Venom movie, would you want him to go mano-a-mano with Venom one-on-one? Or would you want to see like what we've seen in Spider-Man cartoons and comics of like Venom needs Spider-Man's help to take down Carnage?
I prefer something like that, honestly, because in a sense it'd be cool at least one time to have, or at least let's put it this way, either help from someone or he goes up against Carnage, gets his ass whooped big time. Comes back and says, you know what? I can't just do this as I thought I could. Like, Venom was always about, I'm big, I'm strong, I can take anyone. He gets his ass whooped by Carnage, and then it's like, okay, I can't do the same tactic I always do. I need to change up my game. Then that's maybe where him and the symbiote start working together a little bit more than, hey, you're my host. I'm here to protect you, but guess what? I'm driving the truck when it comes to fighting. No, now they have to start thinking.
And I'm reading right here that it says it may even be that some of Eddie Brock's nearest and dearest will be Cassidy's targets. And reading that, I think back to the trailer that we saw for Venom. And he basically was like, oh, what was the exact quote? He's like saying everything, and I can picture it in my head. They show what looks to be his love interest, and it was like an ex-lover or like a fan, like and it's like maybe they're targeted by Cassidy in some way, and they say perhaps even Brock's ex-wife and Weeing. There are actually rumors that the movie will end with Brock committed to San Quentin State Prison, where he and Cassidy will be cellmates. A fragment of Venom's symbiote will break off, making its way towards Cassidy, and the film will fade to black. This would be a fairly accurate reproduction of Carnage's comic book origin. See, the thing that I have a hard time believing, though, is you're going to go ahead and get, like, if you're going to do something like that and have, like, I get the part where they're probably going to have him earlier in the film where, like, the Life Foundation recruits Cassidy as one of their agents and he's a part of that. But are you going to go ahead and get an actor like Woody Harrelson, who I would say is a big-time actor for this role? Would you go ahead and get him and not use him? And I say not use him to basically say, would you... I want him to be, like, I want Cassidy to be huge into this story if Woody Harrelson is Cassidy, because I want you to basically give me that money's worth that you're paying him. If it's just the only thing we really get of Cassidy is at the end, the Venom symbiote kind of makes its way towards him.
That's not worth the money.
That's not the money. That's not the money worth the money that you gave to Woody Harrelson. Because Woody Harrelson's an amazing actor.
So what I would do is have him as Cassidy. Honestly, Cassidy was put into jail for murder, right? He was a psychopath in the first place.
Yeah.
So what I would do is maybe partway, like a little bit into the movie, have him somehow stopped by Venom, or more so Eddie. It's Eddie Brock, right? That we're going off of. Yeah, I couldn't remember for a minute.
Well, because I mentioned Flash Thompson earlier.
That's why.
It's Eddie Brock.
Eddie Brock. So let's say Eddie Brock and Eddie Brock and Venom stop Cassidy, get him arrested. Like, hey, no, we're not going to kill this one. This guy needs to stand trial. He gets put in jail, and then as soon as Eddie Brock stops cooperating with the Life Foundation, they recruit Woody Harrelson or Cassidy and say, how would you like to help us out with something and get your revenge on someone? And they take one of the other symbiotes, because you said it's what was the storyline where there's multiple symbiotes already?
Where it's that's the whole Lethal Protector.
Lethal Protector. So it's like we're gonna attach this symbiote to you. or we're gonna this newly modified symbiote we have. We played around with the some of the symbiote we caught.
See, I would love,
and then like introduce that to Cassidy, and that's where you kind of.
Here's what I just thought of, and it's because I'm picking parts of this article now to just read and kind of think about. What if? Because it says here that Woody Harrelson is the man to watch. Harrelson joined Venom when the film was in late in production and was initially described as a henchman. That is an important clue to his role. What if they never name him as Cassidy? They never name him. But he's just a henchman. He seems like you know what? For this, you're watching, you go, that's a weird side role for Woody Harrelson to be cast as.
Yeah,
Maybe
really.
they just wanted someone with the comedic chops.
True.
Is what you're thinking about. And then at the end, this thing I said where Brock gets committed to prison, he walks into the cell, and you just see Woody Harrelson, hey, buddy. Just Woody Harrelson way. Just, hey, buddy, how's it going? Brock sits down, symbiote comes out, you see it plop down an inch, goes on to Cassidy's hand, cut to black.
That
would be all right. However,
yeah.
The thing I'm fighting in my head is if you're like, that would be like, all right, that he wasn't just a henchman. He's Cassidy. He's going to be Carnage. But part of me wants you to make him like Cassidy, make me know he's Cassidy, so that we can see that homicidal psychopath attitude and get the backstory of Cletus Cassidy before he gets the symbiote, before he becomes Carnage.
So were you the one that said that it's him as a henchman, or was that something you just read?
That was in the article. It said henchman.
Henchman.
In quotes.
Which is weird. Again, weird.
Quotes in italicized.
Weird for Woody Harrelson again. What if it's like he's the top henchman that like
for the Life Foundation.
Life Foundation, but that like in a sense like almost their mercenary. In a sense,
he's the one that when they go
want
and
someone
need the
dead,
dirty work.
Yeah, and like they show a few times of like he has no problem just going, bam. So what did you want?
A guy.
Yeah. He has like no remorse or like
kind of like the Vulture and Spider-Man.
Yeah, but except without the I'm protecting my family thought. It's like this is fun. Bam.
Because when he shot the Shocker.
Yeah,
the original Shocker.
Yeah. Well, he said he thought it was the anti-gravity gun. No, that's over there.
Ooh.
Anyway, so that was more like I'm protecting my family, I'm protecting my interests.
He's just
Cassie's just like
psychopath.
Like he'd talk like Cassie would be the guy that's like choking a guy,
but
or
having a conversation like
casual
this.
conversation with you. It's like, so yeah, what'd you do yesterday? Oh, that sounded great. What'd you get from the grocery store? And that's the type of thing it would be. It's like you see Woody Harrelson just doing something or like finishing a guy off like that.
And that's what I would want.
That's what I want. I want to be like their calling guy.
I wouldn't want Woody Harrelson just to be a henchman and then at the end be like, oh, that was really Cletus Cassidy.
So how would you feel though?
I want to know it's Cletus Cassidy so I can get into the mind of Cassidy and see how fucked up he really is.
What would you say if it was just like along the lines of they never say his name, like when they say call him and they call it like it's Woody Harrelson and they never say Cassidy until, hey Cassidy, you have a new cellmate. Cell door opens, it's Eddie Brock comes in, and then that whole thing that you talked about, cut the black.
But I still get him as a normal character. They just never say his name.
Not till the very end, and like you realize this is Cletus Cassidy. How would you feel about that?
That'd be the ultimate tease. Like they'd be teasing me because as a fan, I would know. I'd be like, come on, it's Cassidy.
Right?
Like we definitely know this is Cletus Cassidy. We definitely know that,
but never say his name throughout the movie until the very end.
It just sounds like such a movie thing to do,
right?
It just sounds like exactly what they would do. Fuck.
Sony.
Like, part of me, like,
Sony stops this one because we're giving too much of the actual storyline away.
They stopped this podcast. But the thing I think ultimately is he's going to be Carnage has got to be the main villain for the next one.
So I know it said cut the black. How cool would it be if it's like Eddie Brock just curls and faces the wall? It's like, I don't want to deal with anyone. A little bit of symbiote comes off and like and gets on Cassidy, and then you see like as a shadow the Carnage symbiote silhouette cut to black.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Like slow, instead of breaking Ricky like I usually do, I'm slowly tearing him down now.
Oh, speaking of that, Mark blew my mind on the onside kick this week.
I
told him, I said, Johnny's not going to like that because Johnny's the only one that can blow my mind here at MVP.
I gotta step up my game. I've been blowing your mind in a while.
But here's the other thing I want to ask you. What do you think of Woody Harrelson's pick to play Carnage, play Cassidy?
I like it, honestly. All the stuff I've seen him in, the one thing I'm really hoping he brings into it, I loved him. I mean, I've seen him War of the Planet of the Apes. He's kind of
crazy.
A little bit. I mean, in the right way. Why can I not think of it? It's called Zombieland. It's right at the top of the thing. I have his IMDb up just so I know. Zombieland. I loved him in Zombieland.
Don't forget him in Semi-Pro, man.
Semi-Pro too.
That Will Ferrell.
But I'm not even. I don't want that. I don't want that.
Will.
I want him to take elements of Zombieland and throw it in here.
I want that Woody Harrelson. If they don't do the hey Cassidy, you got a roommate. I want that Woody Harrelson for just how fucked up he can be. If it's like Brock turns the corner, sees him sitting there, and that like, hey buddy. That's what I want. That's the kind of inflection from his character Eddie Monix.
Yes.
In not Tropic Thunder, Semi-Pro. That's the kind of inflection I would want for that. Hey, buddy.
No, I really want the Zombieland inflection though, because it's like I want the inflection there, but I want like the homicidal side of it. Whereas like hell, what was the whole goal for him in Zombieland? Do you remember?
Oh, I don't remember. I know that.
I want a goddamn Twinkie.
That's right.
I just want that, like almost like.
Didn't he lose his family?
He lost his son.
That's what I thought.
At first, like, and that was really sad because they described it as a dog, and then it's like his kid. It's like, oh.
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Broke my fucking heart, and I'm not gonna say spoilers because that's on you if you haven't seen it.
Here's my question for you though.
2009.
After this movie,
yes.
Going further, how would you feel if they made and don't let the name spook you. Because one of my favorite heroes has a name like this, and it was a very awful movie. What if they did a movie called Venom versus Carnage, and that was the sequel?
As long as we don't get a Batman v Superman style one, sure.
But what would
just don't throw too much shit in there. That's all.
What if here's what I'm giving you: little parameters to like. I'm going to give you a box to play in, and come off with all of your different ideas. Okay. But you have to stay within these boxes.
Okay.
The movie is Carnage versus Venom. Spider-Man's not going to be in it. Okay. How would you frame that movie? If it's Carnage, you have to have Carnage versus Venom as your main protagonist, antagonist. Yeah. Spider-Man's not in on the fight. If you can't use Spider-Man.
Excuse me. I would, like I said earlier, that's where I would...
Because I took that out because you would want Spider-Man in it, but what if you can't because of MCU?
Yeah, no, I understand that. That's why I said it the way I did earlier. I would go along the idea of exactly what I said earlier. So not Carnage. Venom is usually about brute force. I'm going to use brute force because that's what I can do. I mean, yeah, there's the manipulation and the creation of stuff and killing. Well, that's going to be where Eddie Brock's more so going along the lines of no, we're not going to kill. No, we're not going to kill. We're going to just apprehend people. Yeah. We're going to stop I want to do that. I want to use this for good. And then it's like the back and forth with the symbiote. Well, there's going to be the Carnage thing. He's going to get his ass handed to him like tenfold to where the point of Carnage almost kills him. And it's going to be, okay, we need, like, the symbiote realizes and he realizes, okay, symbiote, we need to work together. We need to do it this way. And you can't just use brute force all the time. We need to actually play smarter. And then that's where it sort of gets into like I don't want to say an Agent Venom thing, but like it's styling more towards the Agent Venom
where he's like, I'm controlling the symbiote, it's not controlling me.
Exactly. I'm controlling it. You're working with me now. You're not going to take over in the fight scene. We are going to work together. I can think, you have the skills. Let's put that together and actually beat this guy. And then they figure out a way to stop Carnage without actually killing Carnage, because we don't do that usually.
Because one of the things that I would think of is if they're going to put Spider-Man in a Venom sequel, could you see Spider-Man in a Venom sequel without having the part of the story where the symbiote attaches to Spider-Man. Because remember, cartoon series we grew up with.
It attaches Spider-Man first.
Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Attaches Spider-Man first.
I think that if you are going to have it to where you're going with a different Eddie Brock, putting Spider-Man in so early, it's going to be interesting to see how people react to, hey, the symbiote's never going to attach to Tom Holland.
What if we put it this way? Because we said he's on the opposite side of the U.S., right?
He's San Francisco.
Yeah, he's the opposite side of the U.S. Let's say we throw Spider-Man in there for like this Carnage versus Venom movie.
Because Tom Holland has been reportedly seen on set of this Venom movie, just not in the spider suit.
Yeah. I mean, it could be that's where they get the spider. Because you and I have talked about it before. And just a reminder, Carnage is made of Venom and Spider-Man's blood, right?
I think so.
Okay. Well, then that would be, if he was on set, that'd be awesome because it would basically say, hey, that's where we get the blood from. Whatever reason Peter Parker actually gave up his blood somehow. But that would mean that it would give a reason for that to be, and it would give like kind of a tie-in of like when maybe Tom Holland comes in for Carnage v Venom, and the first time he sees Spider-Man, the symbiote freaks out and goes like just absolutely pissed at Spider-Man.
I'm also looking here, and this is interesting. Yeah. So I'm looking at kind of like the base origin of Carnage. And it says, let's see, the symbiote, blah, 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 right here. Carnage was a serial killer known as Cletus Cassidy and became Carnage after merging with the offspring of an alien symbiote called Venom during a prison breakout. The symbiote amplified his psychotic nature, making him even less mentally stable than he had been previously, and therefore even more dangerous. An interesting note is that, unlike Venom, Carnage is a singular entity, referring to himself as I instead of we. That, I think, would be awesome, too. Like, you hear Venom, it's like we, where Carnage, it's no, it's I. Yeah. It is me. I have taken you over. I am
part of you.
Like, we are together to where it's I now and not we, because the symbiote actually merged with Cassidy's bloodstream. And there's nothing in here that I see with it.
Maybe maybe it was one of the Spider-Man cartoons then how that happened.
Because
let's see. Even better, you don't need to tie Spider-Man into that.
This is it.
Since then.
So Cassidy has been separated and reattached to the symbiote multiple times.
Okay.
The Carnage symbiote has occasionally attached itself to other hosts, including Silver Surfer, Ben Reilly, a clone of Spider-Man. Do you think we'll see him in Into the Spider-Verse?
Maybe.
Doc Ock. Venom later decided to absorb the Carnage symbiote for good, during which Cassidy retained the Carnage persona by consuming himself in red paint and continuing his killing spree. This was short-lived, however, when he continuously found the exact replica of the symbiote in the negative zone. I don't see anything about it merging with Spider-Man's blood. It was basically during a prison breakout.
That must be one of the cartoons, is why I had that in my head, that it was mixed with Spider-Man's blood. So you don't need Spider-Man for that part of it then.
You know what would be a cool scene, and it's only because I'm seeing a picture right now. I'm looking at a picture right now of Carnage basically ripping Eddie Brock out of the symbiote. Could you imagine seeing that on the big screen? Like, Carnage coming up behind Venom, grabbing him, and basically pulling Eddie Brock out of the symbiote.
Just the Carnage sharp claws, start to grow out.
Because this looks like he's got Eddie Brock by the hair, and then through the eye holes of the symbiote is just ripping them apart.
So could you imagine this is how I would see it.
I'm just trying to... I don't know what I would do if I saw that on the silver screen.
It would be amazing, honestly. If it's done right. Like, you have him just reach in through the scalp, grab Eddie Brock by the hair. By the head.
Ooh.
Like, because he...
So claws into the head.
Well, not into the head, but like around it. So like you could just...
Yeah.
Hold, like, my fingers aren't long enough, so it goes like this, goes around the head.
And then he just pulls the symbiote off of him.
And pulls him right out of the symbiote. could do that and then toss him.
Mm-hmm. And then the symbiote is just there going all crazy because it doesn't know
wigging out because it's like
do.
my host is gone.
Any final thoughts on this before we move on?
No, I'm excited. I really like the pick for Woody Harrelson to be in there. I really hope he is Carnage.
Mm-hmm. And not just a henchman.
Yeah, not just a henchman. Even though weird to cast him that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird when I hear Woody Harrelson cast as henchman. But yeah, no, I'm excited, and hopefully we actually get like a taste of Carnage in there.
Well, this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think down below in the comment section. What do you think Carnage's role will be, and how much of Woody Harrelson will we see in the Venom movie? Let us know what you think in the comment section. Let's move on, though, into our final topic, Johnny, and we're looking at some Batman news. So Matt Reeves, the Batman director, said that basically the Batman movie is not going to be about the Jason Todd killing. So rumors surfaced online today that Reeves' script of the Batman focused on Bruce dealing with the loss of Jason Todd. His death is already established in the Robin suit from BVS and in character bios for Suicide Squad. So it'd be easy to see why that thread could have been expanded. However, The Wrap debunked this rumor after their sources told them that the rumor was false. So, Johnny, what we are going to do today is we already did this for the Black Widow movie, and we're going to do it again for this one. We are now the writers of The Batman. We're taking it away from Matt Reeves. He's been taking too much time with it anyways. Matt, I'm joking if you're watching. However, we are going to come up with our idea of what the story for the Batman should be. And you know how usually I go, hey, Johnny, what do you think? Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you what I think.
Because you're the DC guy, I was hoping you would.
What I think right now is I'm jumping right into it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. For the Batman, give me the Killing Joke. Give me the Killing Joke. Think about it.
Oh, you're talking about the one I brought up for the Batgirl, right?
Think about it, though.
Yeah.
Think about it. Batgirl's dead. Let's be honest. Like, the movie, we talked about them maybe getting a new director, but Joss Whedon leaves the project. It's dead. Kill it. Move it out of the way.
It's dead right now.
This is what you do. The Batman should be the Killing Joke. You can do it with an older Batman. Doesn't matter what kind of a Batman you do. An older Batman would actually work because what then you can do is, all right, since we haven't seen him in Gotham, you can move him away. All right, while he's been dealing with all this Justice League shit, guess what's happened in Gotham? The Joker broke out of Arkham Asylum. The Joker is running rampant. Psychopath all over Gotham. And you could still give me where Commissioner Gordon is like, we need you. Like, we've kind of seen him in Justice League in Gotham. But while he was dealing with
they all just left. That's kind of rude.
Yeah. But what we can do is the Joker breaks out. While he's dealing with the whole Steppenwolf thing and he's not in Gotham, he's got to come back, stop the Joker. It's a whole Joker Batman mind, just I'm going to mess with you thing. And because Batgirl is dead, that movie is gone, you don't even need to give me the Batgirl movie. Just have Barbara Gordon in it, and you can do the iconic scene where he shoots Barbara Gordon and paralyzes her.
Yeah, there you go.
What do you think? Like I just went full. Like this is usually one. It's like, oh, save for the end of the segment. No, we're going full in Killing Joke.
Ricky just used his most powerful card right off the bat.
Exactly. I'm not activating any trap cards over here, John.
No, he just.
I'm going full in, right for the throat. What do you think? Like, is Killing Joke one that they should just do? Like, does it make too much sense to you?
No, I mean that would work too, because you know what? I mean, they said they're not going to do the death of Jason Todd. That took a while to get out.
Yeah.
So they're not going to do the death of Jason Todd. Now just the other one I was thinking about. So you threw out yours that I like the Killing Joke. I wasn't gonna hit the ground so hard running.
Why not? Because
the one I was thinking of was Under the Red Hood.
Ooh.
We aren't doing the death of Jason Todd. We're doing the resurrection of Jason Todd.
Oh man.
And now, Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Blue Eyes White Dragon, indeed, my friend. That is one that, like, because think about it. In a Batman movie, like the Killing Joke would be good, but the thing that Warner Brothers would have to then try to avoid is it too soon doing the Joker since Heath Ledger? Because remember, Heath Ledger did an amazing job as the Joker, and then he died. So there's kind of that fact into it to where it's like,
oh, we got Jared Leto though.
But wait, no, fuck that. Where he did such a great job.
Yeah.
And because we can never see him again as the Joker.
Yeah.
We were just left on that high. I forgot about Jared Leto. I'll be honest. But in a Batman movie, is what I'm saying. That. I totally forgot.
Well,
Jared
the good
Leto
news about that, which is it's sad that we can't have Heath Ledger do it again, but because he did a phenomenal role as the Joker, in my opinion.
But would it be for a Batman movie too soon to have the Joker as your main villain after the Heath Ledger?
The only reason I say no to that is because we kind of rebooted the universe. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a sting in some senses, but overall, it's like, well, you know what? It's not the same Batman. It's not the same anything. So we can recast the Joker. Please recast the Joker, is what I'm saying.
But the thing I like about your idea, Under the Red Hood, is the fact of where, see, and here's the thing. Because Under the Red Hood, I'm thinking back to the animated movie, which you could change this all you want, let's be completely honest. But in the animated movie, beginning starts out, Joker beating the crap out of Jason Todd. Boom! Jason Todd dies. And then Batman finds out. Another article I'm looking at, and you could totally go away from this. There's no like exact sources for, yes, this is written in stone. But apparently there's been a cryptid, a tweet with a cryptic comment basically dealing with the Robin suit from BVS, where it's a screenshot, and it is someone tweeted at Zack Snyder, was there Jason Todd story in BVS? Then someone else replied, lightning and thunder require time. Zack Snyder then responds to it, what makes you think that was Jason Todd? So the theory now, and this is a cryptic twist, this could just be Zack Snyder fucking with us all.
Yeah, it could be.
What if it was Dick Grayson? That's what they're saying. What if that was Dick Grayson? I mean, it's not, because they're coming out with the Nightwing movie.
Exactly.
So, duh, how could it be Dick Grayson? But there were set photos revealed during the production cast of an ominous light on this. They actually showed a tombstone for Richard Grayson. So, I mean, I don't think they did that. Like, that's not what we see now. But could we be like, was that the thing? I don't think so. I don't think so either. The suit was Jason Todd. Zack Snyder's just upset. That's how I look at that.
But now, let me get into my version of the Red Hood.
Go ahead.
Because
you'd have to change it. You'd have to change it since Matt Reeves had said they're definitely not doing Death in a Family, which is the Jason Todd storyline. Yes.
What if we do that whole afterwards where meeting the Red Hood, trying to figure out who he is, the rest of that storyline, but as he starts to figure it out, maybe have flashbacks of losing Jason Todd, just so you have ideas of like the Joker beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And you only do that as like Batman flashbacks. And then that's the only way you have that part of the storyline in there. And then you do the rest of it's called Under the Red Hood, right?
Yeah.
And that whole storyline. You know about it better than I do. I'm just going along with how to kind of incorporate the little bit of, well, this is Jason Todd dead. This is this part. That's it.
So, I mean, with that,
just flashbacks, nothing like specific.
Like flashbacks could work because the whole thing is we know through BVS that Batman has thought about it because
he keeps it in a case.
He does. He keeps it in a case so that he can just look at it every so often.
Walks by it like every time he goes to his computer.
Like that would be huge. Like, and then it could just be the Red Hood shows up. We don't need anything. You didn't need to tell us Jason Todd's dead. The Red Hood just shows up. Like, he could be dealing with Joker, dealing with any random villain. Red Hood just shows up.
Yeah. Let's have it a random villain, and Red Hood just, like, from a distance, Batman's, like, holding the guy
because the best part of Under the Red Hood when I first watched it was there was a whole chase scene.
Yeah.
Where Batman's trying to chase him, and like as he's like, the thing that was the best part that like me as a Batman fan went, oh fuck, was he threw out like the grappling wire to get him, and Red Hood turns around, cuts the wire before it even gets to him. Or like, and it's like he knows the moves that Batman's going to do before he does them, to where when Batman gets back, he's like, something's not right here. Like he's like, there's nobody that has the equipment to cut my wire. Like
nobody knows what it's made out of.
That was one of the things. Like my wire is made out of something that a normal knife can't cut.
Yeah.
So this person had to have known what my wire is made out of. They look at like film of like him jumping, and it's like that. I've seen that before.
It seems familiar, yeah.
And then when he gets on the bike at the end, like the look back that the Red Hood gives him, it's really
eerie.
Weird. To where I want, like, give me one of those. To where it's like the Red Hood, and he doesn't know who he is until that point where he catches him and maybe punches him in the face, and you see like that broken away part, and it just shows an eye, and Batman looks like Jason. And he just drops him because he doesn't know what to do.
I wouldn't even have him say anything. Just like see his eye, like the eye, and maybe a little part of the face, just like hands open, like completely freaked out. Red Hood just hops on his motorcycle and gets out of there. But I would say a cool way to introduce him, Batman's just like apprehending someone, and just all of a sudden he's got the guy like right here trying to get information. Red Hood, poof,
kills him
from like
sniper shot.
Yeah, sniper shot, close enough to where Batman can see who it was, but far enough where it just bam, out of there. Get out of Dodge.
Now
that's how I would introduce him first.
Another story that I would love for them to dive into, and this is only because this is what I probably should have started with instead of going Killing Joke off the like right away. I would love for them to do I don't think this will happen, but Hush. Have you ever read Hush?
No, I have not.
So Hush is basically the main villain in that one is obviously Hush. And what Hush is he's a plastic surgeon that, if my memory serves me correct, his main goal is to be Bruce Wayne. Like, I remember it from the first Arkham game had him as like a side quest to where, because he obsesses so much about Bruce Wayne, he, being a plastic surgeon, does plastic surgery on himself to make him look like Bruce Wayne.
Oh, wow.
And I would love to see that Hush storyline become a movie. Because Mark and I read that in the first ever graphic conversation we did so long ago. Yeah, his that's right. It's all coming back to me now. So his name is Thomas Elliott, or Tommy. He was a friend of Bruce's. Like, they were friends when they were kids. And he was born into a wealthy family. Duh, he was friends with Bruce Wayne as a kid. The two boys often played a Stratego-esque minifigure game together, and Tommy taught Bruce to think like his opponents and to use their abilities against them in order to win. So I would love to see this whole thing kind of play into it. What if it's a whole, like, then you can dive into the whole, like, you're not just diving into Batman, you're diving into Bruce Wayne as well, and maybe a storyline like the Hush storyline, where it's not a villain to where I'm going to punch you in the face, you got to be mano-a-mano brute force with me. It could just be hey, you know what? This is all about the mind. We're getting into Bruce Wayne, and we're getting into the man behind the mask, not just the Batman, which could interest Ben Affleck. Because I don't think Ben Affleck's a guy that just wants to be in the mask. He wants to be Bruce Wayne as well.
He wants to be the full character.
Which it is, I did hear rumors that apparently if Ben Affleck walks away, apparently Matt Reeves has already got Jake Gyllenhaal lined up.
Wow.
Ready to take the role if Ben walks away.
Wow.
But what would you think about that one? Kind of a little childhood-esque one.
No, that'd be very
Hush
interesting.
Or Tommy Elliott.
That'd be very interesting to have him play that because I
don't think we've ever seen that.
No, that'd be more of the mental mindscape, the mental concepts, as opposed to I need to beat someone up and stop them.
And then you could play back of it like the Batman. No. It's not just Batman. It's everything that makes Batman Batman.
Yeah.
Being Bruce Wayne makes you Batman.
We finally would get the detective.
Yes, and that's what I think would be awesome with that. It would be. And Tommy Elliott could play with his head knowing him as a child. Any other storylines you think we should hit with the Batman or anything you would be like, you know what, this one would be cool?
You know what? I got no other ones because you know more about the Batman storylines than I do. The only ones I know of, and I don't even know what the stories really are. Year one wouldn't really work because we already know about him unless it's like a lot of flashbacks.
That year one was also the one where it was more of like an introduction with James Gordon.
Exactly. That's an introduction.
And James Gordon's already established in the Gotham.
And the only other storyline I recognize the name of, I don't know anything about it really, is the Court of Owls.
Yes. So the Court of Owls would be, I was thinking about that only because it would be interesting to see a group rather than just one singular kind of villain that he's going up against. It would be a group of kind of like a cult that he's going after in a sense. But that was one that I'd kind of push aside. I love the I love the three that you and I just came up with. Under the Red Hood escaped me only because Jason Todd, I pushed that completely off because
I figured
Matt
you
Reeves
did just because
no.
Matt Reeves said no to his death and
but this is
not
where
completely.
This is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think down below in the comment section. What do you think about a Batman story? Well, for the Batman, what would you want the story to be? What comic stories would you kind of combine? Because we were kind of going off one. You could combine them.
That's true.
You could combine the Killing Joke with Under the Red Hood and make that work in some way. So let us know what you guys would think down below in the comment section. But Johnny, we're going to end the podcast with a little mini segment. This is going to be a little short one. I didn't do the intro or the outro at the end of that last one because I have an important question for you. This is a gaming thing. I have not told Johnny what this is yet. So you guys can see what it's titled. He's got me
blindsided right now.
You are totally blindsided. So there are rumors, rumors that we could be getting there's information linked from a site called Semi-Accurate, which has had some credibility in correct linked information about the Switch and the PlayStation 4. They have come out with leaked information and specs and details about PlayStation 5. Now, some are saying we're getting this beginning 2019. These details make it seem like late 2018 we could be seeing 9th generation gaming. Johnny, I want to ask you, off your head, your prediction, when are we going to get, is the next gen coming soon? Is it coming 2018, coming 2019, or you don't see PlayStation 5 and the next gen coming anywhere in the near
I'd say
future?
late 2019 if we're gonna get one.
Okay.
Because I mean, what are you going to add to it overall that isn't already out there?
Apparently,
that's significant.
So the site claims that Sony will continue working with AMD products, with the PS5 using AMD Navi for graphics and AMC Zen for its CPU. It also confirmed rumors that Sony already has released dev kits to some developers, which could mean that the new console will arrive sooner than anyone ever imagined. Although 2019 is the release year most might consider, the site does not rule out a 2018 release based on just how many dev kits are now out there in the wild. PS5 could also have VR goodies offered as part of its features, meaning it would work seamlessly with PlayStation VR. To me, I look at this, and my first thought was, no, don't let the next gen come yet, because I'm not ready to pay for it. Let's be completely honest. I'm not ready to pay for it. But the thing you got to look at is how long has it been since the last generation came out? Because you're not going to wait way too long. And the PlayStation 4, I'm using PlayStation just as a reference, November of 2013. So it's been 5 years. It'll be 5 years this November that we would have in this gen since PlayStation 4 came out to now. PlayStation 3 was released November 11th, 2006. So that was a 7-year difference. And then PlayStation 2, I'll go back one more for you, 06 to March 4th of 2000. So it was 6 years, then 7 years. Now we're at 5 years. Like 2018 would be 5 years. End of 2019 would be 6 years. 2020 would be 7 years. So we would think that next year, like to me, next year seems like the better date only because that would be your 6 years. Am I correct?
Yeah. No, I agree. And well, there we go. I agree with that. I would wait until 2019. Make sure you got everything down pat. Everything's because they said they wanted to flow seamlessly with the VR as well.
That to me is the most interesting part because I don't know the Xbox side of it as much. I know they had the Kinect thing, which was kind of stupid. I hear people make fun of it all the time.
Okay. It was great, but it wasn't great. But
it seems like to me, and I could be wrong, it seems like to me PlayStation is putting more cookies into the VR department than a Microsoft, Well, Microsoft
isn't putting it towards the Xbox. They're just putting it towards VR on its own. I mean, that's why.
What the Xbox could do, because it's Microsoft, is maybe work out a deal where it becomes Oculus compatible.
Exactly.
That's compatible to a VR.
It's all part of Microsoft, so they don't even have to make it like a deal. They just, we're going to make this attachable.
VR is the interesting one for me because when I was buying Christmas stuff, there were a ton of people buying PlayStation VR stuff. And to me, I haven't been able to dive into VR gaming because I just don't have the money for it. But that to me, I know we just saw Ready Player One too, and it plays into it. That interests me because that I feel is the future of gaming. That is the future.
Where else are you going to go? Honestly, we have graphics that are so good that they're almost lifelike.
Yes.
Like there was a commercial half a year ago. I thought it was just like, what the hell is this for? Is there a movie?
Game?
Like, is there a movie coming out or something? And all of a sudden this game like... Wait! That was a game? Because it looks so real. It looked like real people. Like it actually looked lifelike.
No, and there are some of the VR stuff that's going on. Is I think the one game, and I don't quote me, I might be wrong. It's called Dream for PlayStation. And the thing that's so cool about it is you're in a VR world. You can create. It's kind of like level designing almost, where you can create a world.
I think I heard about that, yeah.
Share it, put it up onto the cloud, then I can jump into your level and use that. Or, like, let's say it's like, I wanted The Rock. I'm throwing out a name there, but somebody who I'm never going to meet in real life. Or like a YouTuber that I really like. And you can say, hey, do you mind recording this for me? Yeah, sure. Let me go into the game, record it, throw it up. I can then download it, create an avatar, put that voice in. And it's very much like level design and creating things and like sharing things with other people that interests me like no other. Then there's like games like Super Hot, which for the computer came out years ago, but now on VR you can like, that's one where it's like when you're moving, like when you stop, everything is like silent, but when you move, it goes past you and you got to like dodge bullets and like, oh no, he threw something at me. And it's like, you're very like Matrixy.
Yeah.
And like to like on a computer, it's fine. But to do this and just see the bullet just go right past you.
Yeah.
Like that to me is where we are going with gaming. And I wonder if the next gen, I think it's the 9th generation of gaming is what we're going into. We're currently in the 8th going to the 9th. I wonder how much of that is going to incorporate that VR side of it. Because eventually that's what our systems will be. They'll just be VR games to me.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the next...
I'm going to be sitting there playing baseball, actually swinging a...
That's honestly the next step. Because, I mean, like I said...
The Wii was very raw into that.
Yes, but it was there. I mean, it was the first one to do something like that. And then you had PlayStation and Xbox follow suit.
With like the motion controller and like the motion wands.
And then, I mean, the Xbox went also the route of the motion wands, and it also went the route of the Kinect was a version of that.
Yeah, because PlayStation had PlayStation had the PlayStation Move, which was the two sticks with the balls on
I remember those.
That you could use. Like, this is not, now we're ramping up to it to where VR actually seems, it's not like oh wow, that's in the distant future. It's like, holy shit, this is going to be reality sooner rather than later.
It's coming pretty quickly nowadays.
But that's the last topic I want to dive into. I wanted to surprise Johnny with it's on YouTube. This will be a shorty, but a goodie for you guys. Thank you guys for checking out the Rick and Johnny podcast this week. Let us know what you think down below in the comment section or on Twitter about anything that we talked about today. You can go on Patreon, help support us, make this better than it already is for you guys. We're trying each and every day to make this the best product that it can be. You want an MVP t-shirt, go ahead and get those down below in the description. The store link is down there. MostValuablePodcast.com is where we put everything for you guys each and every day. And don't forget, if you're on Apple Podcasts or iTunes, please go ahead and give the Rick and Johnny podcast a 5-star rating. Want to thank you guys for watching on YouTube. Want to thank you guys for listening on podcast services around the world. And as always, have a good day, everybody.